Well, good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Green Room. And tonight we have a packed show, as usual. It's a packed show every week. We've got music from Drogheda, we've got music from Ballyconnell, and we've got, I think we have the Symphonia. We're waiting for them to come in, but I'm nearly sure that they are coming in as well. But I'm joined, first of all, by people that walk the boards. And that is the lovely Maggie and the lovely Andrew, who are here to talk to us tonight about Off the Hook. Is that it, Andrew?
Off the Hook, yes.
Off the Hook, which is a play.
It's a farce by Derek Benfield.
Now, let's just recap here. Now, the last time you were here with us, it was Move Over Mrs.
Markham. That was by Ray Cooney, I think.
Yeah.
Right,
yes,
Max?
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is another farce.
It's another farce. We done one of these plays before by Derek Benfield about 3 years ago. It was Caught in the Hop, and it went down very well.
And that was another farce.
It was another farce.
So one of these days you're going to produce this play. It's going to be Carry On Drummer Valley.
It'll be right if we
yeah, oh, don't worry. It'll be all.
Now, Paul.
Well, tell us a bit about this, Andrew, first of all.
Well, Off the Hook, it's a farce. It's set in a hotel. There's 10 of a cast.
Which is a big cast.
It's a big cast. We had to rope in a few new faces this year. We were short when we sat down and read it. We were short about 2 or 3 characters, so lucky enough we were fit to fill it. We got 2 or 3 new people on board, which is good to see. It's good to get new people in every year, and
was it hard to get them in?
It freshens the thing. Not too bad, no.
Because I hear a lot of drama societies and that, they have no problem getting people in the background, but getting people to go out front and act, which is a huge task. All joking aside, it's a massive ask, like, you know, for people for joining Amdram for the first time.
Yeah. Well, we were lucky enough. We got Michael Alwell, who had already done a few plays in the area. He came on board to play the male part we were looking for, and then we got a local girl to do one of the other parts.
Polly. Yeah.
Yes, Polly, and that's played by Aideen McInerney, and my daughter Sabrina is playing another part. So we were pretty lucky. You know,
that's our 3 new additions.
3 new additions.
Yeah.
Right, it's good to have them on board.
I'm gonna ask Maggie now in a minute about the acting, because there's a couple of twists and turns in the rehearsals and everything else that you'll find out about now in a moment. But Andrew's going to tell us a bit more about the play itself.
Yeah, the main gist of the play, it's set in a hotel, in Hook House Hotel, a country hotel, and there was a robbery done a while back.
Look over here, look up there, look. That's it. Don't be shy, Andrew. You've been here before. God's sake. Huh?
A robbery done by 2 or 3 people, and Harold Spook was involved in the robbery, and myself, I'm playing Charlie Mullins, and Fred Baxter played by Eamon Gaffney. So we want to find this money, which is hid in the hotel. So I'm left responsible for breaking Harold Spook out of jail to find the money in the hotel. But as luck could have it, there was 2 Harold Spooks in jail, and of course I break out the wrong man. So the Harold Spook that I'm landed with in the hotel has no idea where the money is. I was never even in the hotel before, so then it's a job trying to explain to Fred Baxter what has gone wrong, and he's not accepting it and wants to know where the money is. And
so it is a farce in every sense of the word.
It's a farce in every sense of the word, yes.
And the audience knows what's going on, and the other members don't. So
exactly.
they're trapped in the whole confusion of what's going on.
Yes. And then to add to it as well, of course, then there's a judge staying in the hotel for the weekend with her daughter. The judge is played by Charlie McSherry, is Mrs. Fletcher Brewer, and Sabrina Mag's daughter is playing her daughter. And what's her daughter's name again?
Harold.
Harold is right. So then we have a job trying to cover all then from the judge, of course. We don't want the judge to get wind of why we are staying at the hotel. And then Mickey Cronin is he's Mr. Parkinson, isn't it?
That's
and Aideen McInerney's playing his daughter Polly, and Polly is there as well looking for the money, because she has been visiting the real Harold Spook in jail, who done the robbery, and he has told her that the money is in the hotel. So she has booked in with her father as a cover into the hotel to find the money as well. But all
nothing complicated there then.
All doesn't end in a bed of roses, don't.
And it's complicated. But there's a lot of very familiar names in there. I'm listening to you. I'm knowing all these people.
You would have had, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going, they're acting now, and they're doing this, and they're doing that, and they're doing the other.
Yeah.
And we also have Siobhan Lynch. She plays the part of the maid in the hotel, and she's my sister, and I play the part of Nora Catchpole, who owns the hotel with her husband, Major Catchpole, and he's, kind of like, thinks he's a little bit above
Yes, yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else kind of thing, like, you know.
The next major.
The next major, yeah. You know,
So you got to say it's from the town.
So it's all a bit of a laugh, and Nora is after all of the men in the hotel. Of all the paying guests, she's after them.
She's a man.
Well, look, we'll hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute. Because now this is where it gets... Now, the storyline is complicated. And it will be easy to follow, of course, when you're watching it. Mm-hmm. But Maggie here is director as well. How do you keep control? Like, hold on, I've got to let everyone know as well, you're directing your daughter and your husband.
I know.
What's that like at the dinner table or at the breakfast?
Well,
Are you practicing lines in the mornings?
Oh, no. Well, every now and again, in the beginning, we would have run lines if we
Throw them
had
at
to each other, is right.
Yeah.
But if I make a suggestion, they know that I'm not going to be doing something that's going to make them look silly or anything else. And they've taken everything on board, to be fair. You know, and I'm not the only director. Eamon Gaffney's directing as well.
Another good man too.
Yes,
Cracks the whip.
Good
he does
experience,
indeed.
man,
Yes, yeah.
Because it is very, very hard, again, all seriousness, and I've said this to Ronan Ward and other people, when you're directing people who are your friends and your family, to get that persona together that makes you the boss. You know what I mean? Because people will be saying, Maggie, come on. But you have to keep control.
You do.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, you know, when they do something and you see that it's done good, and you say it's done good, and, you know, that gives them a bit of confidence. And now I've seen Michael come off one evening and he thought he'd done something wrong, and I just went, no, you did good. And, you know.
But again, Maggie, how can you direct an act?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
It can be a little bit of, you know, you have to have done a little bit of homework before you actually go to the hall on that night, so that you know what you want to be done. Yeah. Because if you're going to be running in and out of the stage on yourself, you know, it can be a little bit difficult. But, you know, so far so good.
And is Eamon acting as well?
He is.
Eamon is, yeah.
So the two directors.
Yeah. So
Is there any stage where you're both on stage together?
there is, in the beginning, a small little bit where both of us are on stage together, but for the most part, we're not. So it actually worked out okay.
So you've got control.
We have, yeah. Because there's a good chunk now that I'm not actually on stage. So during the rehearsals, I'd be down watching what's going on, and vice versa. You know, when I was on, he was off.
So when you're both on stage?
Just only a small little section.
But still and all.
I know.
So have you only the first 10, 15 minutes of this?
Have you got an AD too? Assistant director too? Somebody else is, or the whole cast there going, please, they're both on stage.
No, do you know what? They're a good cast, because, as you said, a lot of them have good experience, and, you know, they are, you know, fit to see things for themselves, that you don't actually have to pinpoint absolutely everything out, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then even the new characters, like, you know, they've taken everything on board. Like,
slotted in very well.
And slotted in very well.
You've already performed it, haven't you?
We have. We've done 2 nights in Drumavady last weekend, and they went very well.
Yeah, with the locals, they must love it.
That was done well.
They went, and there was other people now that wouldn't be locals came to see it
Yeah.
as well. You know. So
But again, as I was saying, the whole thing has come full circle. People are going to see plays and stuff like that now, more than they ever did.
Yeah. It's a good hour and a half, 2 hours, or whatever it is of entertainment. Like, you know, you sit down and you generally don't find that the plays are they put on a bad play.
And you do soon forget who's up there, don't you?
Oh, you do. Because suddenly you know, because I've had friends came up from Wexford last week to see it in Drumavady, and like they know me 20 odd years, and know Michael as well.
Of course,
and Sabrina as a baby. But then when they come out as these characters, you know, as Catherine said, you know, suddenly you were Mrs. Catchpole and you were chasing after all these men, and, you know, she thought it was just hilarious, but she forgot for the next time sitting there that I was not Maggie anymore, like, you know, that I was this other person.
But now you come up to the Rammer.
We are in the Rammer next weekend, yes.
Right, to look into that camera there.
Right, so we're in the Rammer on Friday and Saturday, 13th and 14th of March at 8:30. Come along and see us. A good night's entertainment, guaranteed.
There's still a few seats left.
A few.
Still a few seats left. Well, make sure you get along to that. Well, look, I'm going to go up to it, definitely. Now,
Good man, Paul.
holiday weekend or not, I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
It is the holiday weekend, isn't it? Or am I just convincing myself?
It is.
Well, it's the
It is.
weekend
Well,
before
yeah. It's before Paddy's, yeah.
Well, thanks a million for coming in. They are going to rehearsal now, so I promised them. I got Maggie at the last minute today, and I said, please come along and have a chat and tell us about the play, and we'll get you on and we'll get you off as quick as we can. And the best of luck to all the cast, and All Maggie's family it is, isn't it? It's all your family.
Well,
And Andrew, your gang as well.
Well, and then we get good help as well as like it's not all about the cast on stage either. We have good backroom team, and we have Marie Collins helps out, and Anne-Marie McPhillips and Michelle Cronin.
Two of which are also
past. They are like
players.
Anne-Marie and Michelle would have been in it last year, and we played last year. And then I set with Bernard Comiskey and Daniel McConnell and the Highland Clan. So we're very lucky. We have a good crew, like you know. So
Brilliant.
Only for them we wouldn't be able to do it either.
No, because you do have to move your set from place to place.
Yeah.
We always have a full set.
Yeah.
You know, so vans and
Yes, it was huge.
hands on board.
The whole works.
Be gone now to your rehearsal.
Thank you so much.
Say it once more. Tell them there because I won't remember it now. You'll have to say it there.
It's Off the Hook by Derek Bentfield in the Rammer next weekend, Friday and Saturday, 13th and 14th. Come and see us. Cheers.
A night you'll enjoy.
And that's absolutely, it's going to be brilliant. And is it double entendres and stuff like that? Yeah. I'm telling you, right, get along to see it there. That's up in the Rammer next weekend, the bank holiday weekend. Right, we're taking a break now, and when we come back after the break, we've got loads of music. Just stay tuned for this now. Back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and you're welcome back to the second part of the show. Many thanks to Maggie for giving me the hat back, and the best of luck to them with the play. And you can see that up in Drummer Valley. And more details, of course, on their Facebook page and everything else. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to Drogheda, and this is The Selfless.
Came to light that night from a candle shining bright. You were wrong back then and I was right. It was you back then. Pretend to be my friend, and all good things must come to an end. Trying to break you, trying to break your soul, trying to make you lose control, trying to break you. They tried and they failed. They took you as a fool. You
bought a chair because I'm going to sit down here. I'm a guitar player. I'll find out all the crack. Is this the quiet one? Yep.
Two brothers, two Bibles.
The guitarist and the drummer are the quiet ones.
This is the fella to watch out for here. This Danny fella.
The Danny boy.
Yeah, he's the dangerous element of this ball.
Well, lads, tell us a bit about. Introduce yourselves first. Now, look up into the Tina's jib cam there, and as we go along, what's your first name there?
First name is Shane. I'm a member of the Southwest band. What they got up quite a while now over the years, but we actually have a full band unit now. We're an indie rock band. Today we've just come down to yourself to do an unplugged version of some of the tunes that we do. But
so in a live situation, it's all guns blazing.
Yeah. It's we kind of have I suppose a big band sound, really. You know.
Great stuff.
And we're making inroads, and hopefully things can get better in time, better, more fruitful.
And tell us about Danny. Where'd you find him now? What's
Danny
the story?
boy.
Yeah.
With Ben one day. So that's what they told me. You know, they told me they take me up now. They tell me that for years, trying to find me back. And Ben, I'm telling you now, Ben man wouldn't take me. You know.
Danny came along to us. He plays in another band guitar also, you know. But he came to us with his bass guitar. And
so you're a lead player as well, Danny, as well as the bass.
Oh, I am, yeah. Best of the best, yeah. And you know, the talent in one body.
It's getting taught off me, so it's grand.
Oh, oh yeah. Scales, yeah. With no scales off a fish, you bastard.
as soon as we heard Danny, that was it. He was
in, and that was it.
And we all write music between the five of us, and we're able to bounce off each other really good, you know. And everybody's ideas goes onto the table, and we kind of mooch around, and we get hopefully a good song out of a lot of the ideas that we have got, you know. And it's the boys are very talented, multi-talented, multi-instrumental, and
Queasy.
Blowing smoke.
big boys.
That's it, yeah.
What about the drummer, the quiet lad? What's the story?
That's it.
How did you come into the band?
I said Brian, my brother there, so
There's Brian here, obviously.
yeah. The other drummer wasn't making ends meet, so
All right, so this is. Are you the third or fourth drummer or the second drummer? What's the story?
how do you?
I'm
not too sure.
We've gone through a few drummers. Martin came along to us some time back there, and just like Danny.
He was active all the time, now he's brought back again.
He was brought back, but he a fantastic drummer, very versatile, and he can play all sorts of genres on the drums. And
Right.
he's a fantastic addition to the Southwest. And
Can he do a foxtrot?
he can do.
Does he know what a
any
foxtrot
trot.
is? Oh, no time waltz. Oh, good man. Yeah, good man. And yourself, of course.
My name's Andy, I'm the singer of the band. And myself and Shane, probably 7 or 8 years ago, we got together and we started off doing a little acoustic kind of set originally. And we had a 4-piece band together. We were playing actually one night in, I think it was Sargefields in Drogheda. And I think Chris knows exactly where this is going to go.
Yeah, I do.
We were looking for a lead guitar player. We didn't know at the time, but Gus told us we were looking for a lead guitar player. He came over with a couple of beers on and said, "Do you know what your band is missing?" He says, "What?" He says, "Me." I says, "That's fair enough."
Is that you? Yeah.
So that was the start of it. I think Shane at the time actually turned around and says to Gus, "Tell him to go away." You know, in more uncertain, maybe different vocabulary used than go away.
I had to pick him up off the floor first.
Now we're picking you up off the
off the man, bro.
They've been minding me since.
So I actually got Gus's number that night, and we practiced the following Wednesday, and the other guitar player was meant to try out, rang up to say he couldn't make it, so I rang Gus, and Gus came down. To Shane's surprise, I think they'd really seen Gus turn up that night. So the rest has kind of been history since then, really. So from that, Gus, we got Martin come in fairly soon after that, and then we needed the bass player. We had another bass player, but through work commitments and all, he
Couldn't,
had to move on. And so Gus was talking up this lad called Danny. Said he's a great bass player.
Wouldn't be lying.
And good crack.
Yeah, has his moments.
Yeah.
When you're the designated driver and you're coming back from gigs in Dublin and all around the country and all that, and you have Danny behind you singing away and acting the goat from 20 to 30 miles, it's not good.
Danny, what are you singing? What are you singing in the gig rig? What are you singing in the band?
Oh, Jesus, man.
Like-
You think that, na 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 na, na 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 na, wife's calling, go home. Every band practice with their fail, I tell you now. It's the godsend of this band, I tell you. Says I'm on a tight leash, you know. Bell, ball and chain, all bell and chain now.
We can't put Puchin on his legs.
No.
He'd run like-
Andy, how long are you singing?
Probably since I was about 18 or 19, all the bands around the Drogheda area.
Yeah.
And then as things went on and bands broke up, actually a mutual friend of ours, Eddie, actually put me and Shane together. And from then we worked together and we wrote a few original songs and we played a few acoustic gigs, small acoustic gigs around Drogheda. And then we just, in our heads, we thought the bigger band sound would suit us better. So we brought in a drummer and a bass player at the time and we tried the bigger sound. But since then, I said, with the addition of Gus and the rest of the lads, there's no comparison to really what the sound was. You know, it's a much fuller sound, and the lads are very innovative. A lot of good young ideas coming on the table.
Who are your influences? Who are your influences now?
I probably would be child of the 80s to some extent.
Well, you have a very 80s voice. That's why we're asking. We were listening to you inside then.
Probably the Smiths and Smiths would have been a big influence. You know, Morrissey and maybe The Cure and a lot of that kind of 80s, kind of indie kind of rock. I like a lot of modern acoustic acts now at the moment, you know, as well. I like the acoustic sound, but I'd say definitely the 80s would be a big influence on me.
What about the lads now? What sort of stuff would you be listening to?
The 20s for Shane.
Shane, in fairness.
Django Reinhardt.
Nothing wrong with Django Reinhardt.
Well, I think my first album was Beatles, so probably the Beatles was a big inspiration to me back then. And kind of my late brother, he introduced me then to the likes of, you know, Tin Lizzy and Deep Purple, Pink Floyd, all these Led Zeppelin,
all great
Rush,
stuff,
all these kind of rock
real music,
bands and that, you know.
Yeah, real music.
And I just kind of like, I always like different genres of music. Even country music, there's some fantastic stuff out there, you know. So I mean, I listen to anything really, you know.
If it's good, it's good. There's no room for musical snobbery, you know. It's good. It's good. It's great. Like that's it.
And that's where you get a lot of your ideas, and that's, you know, the lads are a lot younger than us, and they would have listened to possibly other bands that we wouldn't even have a clue about. Myself and Andy there, for example, you know.
Thanks, Shane, for putting me in that bracket.
But they're introducing us to bands that we haven't heard of, and they're fantastic as well, you know. And you know,
like who, Danny? Who would you be telling the boys about?
Come here.
I know, seriously.
So I was mad into the punk music and that, you know what I mean? And then a lot of Queens of the Stone Age, a lot of grungy kind of stuff, like, you know, Audio Slave, Soundgarden and all them, do you know? Like, be big influences on me there. Like, I grew up listening to Tin Lizzy and Oasis, like, you know what I mean? Like, I had the best of both at home. Father loving his Pink Floyd, mother loving her Bowie, so made me out of it.
That's
you know,
good,
kind of way. So I have a very good range of music taste, like, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't listen to everything now, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah, but your influence is obviously coming off on the lads as well, and it's just bringing it all together, you know.
Oh, that's it, yeah. Come here. They needed a bit of perfection in the band, you know.
Danny was actually he supported us with his punk band about 6 months ago, Danny, was it?
Double Standards, yeah. That was before I was even an idea in the band, like, you know.
Yeah. But so when Gus actually said about Danny coming in, when I realised Danny was actually the frontman with the punk band.
Yeah. Singing and playing away, screaming away to do, yeah.
Were you mad? Were you pogoing and stuff like that? And
oh yeah, off the stage, on the stage.
Fugazi, the whole lot.
Into the bar, out of the bar. Yeah,
we nearly got around him that night because we couldn't get him off stage. We meant to go on and say it was 11:30, whatever time we got on for. I think Danny and his band originally had about half an hour slot. So I think it was about 45 minutes or maybe longer into the set, and Shane comes over and goes, "Andy, what's the story with the lads? When are they coming off?" And I just,
when we want.
And we used the headline, Andy. We used
the headline actor, and of course Danny was supporting us, obviously.
Oh, there you go. You know, behind the madness, you know. So we get longer on stage nowadays.
It was so it was kind of an audition. He was showing you what you could do.
He didn't even realise at the time.
Well, he was playing the guitar then. Like, he wasn't playing the bass guitar at that time. So we had never heard him actually playing the bass guitar until he joined us.
Yeah.
You know.
What about the drummer? What's your influences now? What would you listen to?
Pretty much the same.
But do you try and hassle the boys? Because, you know, you got to get it in there.
Up the same with Nirvana and all Tin Lizzy, the likes of that.
As drummers, you know.
Yeah, and 90s dance music and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, you're
Big
you
techno.
got-
There's techno dance,
Yeah,
kind of
that's
trancey
it,
stuff
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you were doing so well, you said dance music.
But just the same. Tin Lizzy,
Ah, yeah.
Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd.
Great stuff. Brian Downey's
Biffy
brilliant
Clyro.
drummer.
Biffy Clyro, that and you now. So, mad into them.
Come on, tell us.
Jesus.
Tell us. There's going to be a list now. Yeah. You go to lead players and they tell you about half an hour who their influences were.
From jazz to blues to indie, I'm not even into names. There all day.
And you bring the influence in then. What about writing the songs, lads? When you write the songs, who comes in? Is there...
We have a few ways of doing
Really
it.
different. A lot of the times, yeah.
I think sometimes, say Shane or Gus or whoever might have a few chords to come up, and we'll either bring it to the practice room and try and work out a rough idea of the song. Normally with the lyrics side of it, 9 times out of 10, I'd probably take the song home and try and work up an idea, and then we brought back to the studio again until we have it, you know, together really. Some ideas work, some ideas don't work.
Yeah.
You know? But normally that's the way it would work. You know, probably the majority of the songs, the older stuff, myself and Shane probably would have wrote most of them. But with the new songs going forward now, the lads, Gus, Martin and Danny would have a much stronger say on the way the songs are developing. So the sound is probably changing a little bit from our original kind of indie rock sound. It's probably with the influence of Danny's probably getting a bit more punkier.
Yeah.
And Gus is definitely adding that kind of, you know, some cracking lead guitar work to it. And the whole genre is really...
The good thing about it is, like, what I really like about the unit at the moment is that a lot of the new songs that we're writing between us, you can actually hear the influences of, we say, the 80s, 90s, up to millennia, you know, and it's like you could listen to a song and say, that sounds a bit like such and such from the 80s, or it sounds a little bit like such and such from the 90s or whatever, you know, and it's working really well, so it is, and you know.
I think a lot of the stuff, though, we're quite conscious not to pigeonhole ourselves really to one kind of genre. You know, there's a few times we've gone down certain kind of alleys. Let's say we decided to concentrate on more of a punk kind of feel to what we're doing, but it never really worked that way because the ideas were coming on the table for the songs. You know, between us all writing, there's so many different kind of ideas, and I think as a band, or even as somebody, if I wanted to go and watch a band, I'd like a band with a lot of variety to the set of what they're doing, instead of actually just having, you know,
one-dimensional,
the one-dimensional kind of, you know. So a lot of stuff we're doing, there's a lot of different genres mixed in between it. I suppose the only thing we haven't done is write a country song yet, I suppose. You know?
Oh, that could happen.
change,
you
yeah.
know? It could definitely happen. I doubt with Danny's energy in there, that's gonna.
Oh, that's it. Willie Nelson.
play a
You
country
know, I'm a highwayman.
Well, that's what's happened in 2015. What's the story? What's next now? You're on the road at the festivals.
We're recording at the moment.
Recording.
We're doing an EP. We're doing an EP that might turn into an actual
Album, the way it's going on.
You know, the way there's just that many ideas flying around, and we have that much stuff that we're sifting through, and we're trying to find out, you know, the kind of the best songs that we have written at the moment for EP/album, maybe, you know, and it's mounting up. We have a lot of stuff wrote in such a short space of time, and it's getting together very easy because of the lads as well that's in the mix, you know, and it's happening really fast. Hopefully, we're not exactly sure whether to do EP or album.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like to give you a definitive date, like, as to when an EP or /album could come out. If it's going to be an album, obviously it's going to take a lot longer.
Yes, yeah, of course, get it all together.
CIA answer right there. You know.
That was a political answer.
When the date is there, but we're not at liberty to tell you if the date is out.
You weren't on the weekend politics today, were you?
But yeah, we're gigging away. We're doing plenty. We're very busy. You know, we're in North County Dublin. We're in the city as well. We're in.
How do you find the city? I have to ask this to all the bands that come on who aren't from Dublin. How do you find it getting into Dublin?
It's.
Don't say the M50.
Yeah, Dublin.
It's a blinder. Come on to M50.
Gus is actually in Ballyfermot School of Music as well.
Good man, yeah.
So
Yeah, so a couple of people now.
Is it a hard nut to crack though, getting into the gig scene in Dublin?
So many original bands trying to crack it, and Dublin City seems to be obviously the main city in Ireland to try and
Get in there.
Get in, you know, get your foot in the door. It can be very, very hard, and sometimes, you know, you're
knocking your head off a wall.
You're knocking your head, you feel like you are knocking your head off a wall, because you know yourself, Paul. Like in this country is just bursting with talent.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like every second third house, like you know, has an instrument.
And that's what I was saying. It's not confined to Dublin anymore. Years ago, it was Dublin was the. But now it's Drogheda, it's Galway, Cavan, it's Monaghan. There's great stuff coming from everywhere.
Yeah, even with the foreign element that's in the country now, you have, you know, so you have multi. Cultural bands coming to the fore now as well, you know, and that's a new thing in Ireland really over the last, say, 10 years, and it's starting to get stronger and stronger all the time, you know. So it's hard to get your foot in the door, and of course, like we're banging doors and writing emails and, you know, making phone calls and doing all sorts, and
it's a tough battle.
It's a very tough
being in the band
battle.
is the crack part, isn't it? You know, that's
we all probably came from different bands and setups that were all cover bands and stuff like that, you know. But it's, you know yourself, when the recession hit, a lot of that kind of stopped, and you had pubs all over the cities, Limerick and Cork and Galway and all the main cities like in Ireland closing.
Yeah.
And you know, when the original scene started up, then everybody wanted to show
what they can do,
material and that, you know, and it's very hard, you know. But we've met some fantastic bands and solo acts and everything along the way, and you make a lot of friends that way too as well, you know.
I think the music scene has changed considerably in Ireland. I think back in the 80s and 90s when we were playing, there was a lot more scope for original bands playing, and there's a lot more venues that seem to be following, and the pub scenes in general were a lot busier. Definitely with the downturn in the economy, and maybe the no smoking ban as well probably coincided with it. Not as many people going to the pubs anymore, so instead of, you know, the owner of a bar throwing you £200 or whatever it is to go and play a gig, they're now putting on the radio on the background, or
that's exactly it.
Or maybe sometimes acoustic singer-songwriter if you're lucky, maybe. But and you think, but back in the 80s when there was a recession, originally the music scene in Ireland, you know, burst through the seams. Then it was really, really big scene, and recessions normally coincide with big music situations. But I think the music scene in Ireland is promising. But you're talking about some of the gigs in Dublin, like we've been asked to sell a certain amount of tickets to play in some of these venues. So we'd have to sell, I don't know, what,
that's a bit of a,
we're kind of railroaded nearly, you know, to, you know, it's like, it's pay to play type of thing. In some venues, you know. Other venues, they welcome you, you know, but in some of the better known venues, let's put it that way.
I know them.
It's pay to play, you know, and it's, I mean, like,
payola. You know, but anyway, lads, for the band, it's upwards and onwards.
Absolutely.
Right? And festivals, and if you want to look into the Jib Cam there, look up there, Tina, and she'll tell them where you can get you on Facebook and how they can contact you.
Do you know what, in fairness, man is not going to take me.
We're on all the sites.
We're on, check Facebook, Facebook/The Selfless. And through there, there's a lot of links to. We have a Reverb Nation page. What was it, Martin? Reverb? SoundCloud.
So you did know.
He says them all.
Speak.
Twitter accounts.
Pretty much it,
we're on YouTube.
All the stuff. You have stuff on YouTube as well.
Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Reverb Nation, and
SoundCloud.
If you go on to YouTube and go, The Selfless. And even if you put in Drogheda, if you can't find us, The Selfless Drogheda, there's about 9 or 10 songs on there. People can have a little listen.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The Selfless Drogheda. Make sure you get onto YouTube there and Facebook and SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, all the social media stuff. The boys there you'll find, and it's the Selfless, not the selfies. You know, so near. I was so near saying it. But lads, many thanks for coming on. And next time we come on, it'll be full metal, right?
Absolutely.
Full metal jacket. We'll pump it up. So look forward to the lads, and we'll see them again. And they sound just like this.
I look at you, you look at
look at you, you turn away, but still I won't go. I messed it up, I'll take the blame. You left me so cold. If I could change the words I said, 'cause that was not me. If I could change, is it too late? Am I just killing time? Lost for words, my world's falling apart. Lost for words, playing games with your head. I broke your heart, should have known from the start. Lost for words, in your arms again. Your love, it keeps me from leaving you. Your love, it keeps me from leaving you. Your love, it keeps me from leaving you. Your love, it keeps me from leaving you.
And you're very welcome back. Now look at this, right? Look at this. Can you see that, Tina? Yeah, that's it. Look, this is all happening. Paddy's Holiday, the whole lot. Sue Donahue. Now in the next clip, you're going to see a lot of very familiar faces. Places, I nearly said, but look, you're going to see a lot of people you do know. It's the Cavan Symphonia Orchestra. They'll be playing classical, popular, and traditional music. And the lovely Sue Donahue will be playing excerpts from Carnival of the Animals with her sister Claire. That shouldn't be Claire, that should be Clara, because I know Clara well. And of course there will be Holst Planet Suite and Brahms' Hungarian No. 5, and of course the beautiful Chariots of Fire. There will be traditional Irish and there will be soloists, and these will include Leah Fall and the excellent Cian Condy, who played guitar in the Cavan Big Band. Right, let's have a look at what they can do. They're brilliant. Don't forget, here's the date. Look, there's the date. Here they are, the Cavan Symphonia Orchestra.